Hello!
Hi!
We're back.
Except we're not back.
We wish we were.
We're back in New Jersey.
Ooh. What?
This is gonna go really well.
So well.
Okay.
So we over the course of our program, we have gotten tons of questions basically through Tumblr.
Yeah.
And people have just been asking us a bunch of questions about the program in general, and we've been answering them sort of as we go along. But then we sort of asked people if they had any questions, and they did. So, if you couldn't tell by now, I'm Heather. This is Lorraine.
Hi.
Well, about me, I go to Coastal Carolina University in South Carolina. I'm a marketing major, and both of us are going into our third year of school, so like our junior year.
We're halfway done.
Yeah.
Think about that. The two of us are halfway to getting a degree that could give us a real person job.
We're halfway to changing the world. Be scared. But yeah. Where do you go to school?
I go to UConn, or the University of Connecticut, for people who don't know what UConn is. And I am a communications major, because God knows I'm good at communicating.
We don't speak English at all.
Nope.
What is this?
And I worked merchandise at the Contemporary on my college program.
I worked merchandise at the Emporium on Main Street, USA in Magic Kingdom.
That's a bit extra, wasn't it?
Well,
who needed that full description?
Okay, but if you don't know where the Emporium is, then it's on Main Street, USA, and if you don't know where that is, it's in the Magic
The
Kingdom.
Contemporary is the giant toaster oven next to the Magic Kingdom.
Next stop on the monorail. But yeah, so we were both merchandise, so we both had basically the same job descriptions, but different outfits.
We both wanted merchandise.
Yeah.
Correct? You wanted that, right?
Yeah, it was in our top 3.
Yeah.
So
we were happy.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So I guess now on to the questions.
So the first question is, what were the pros and cons of your locations?
Go ahead.
The cons of mine were that since it was a resort, it got really slow, like all the time. It wasn't very busy, and you didn't get, I don't want to say you didn't get as much of the magical moments as people who worked in the parks, but you definitely lost a lot of the theming. So, like, we had to still stay, like, show ready, but there wasn't really a lot for us to do to maintain the show. Like, we didn't have any, like, themed language or fun costumes or anything like that. So, what?
It's just funny because, like, the cons of my work location, Main Street in Magic Kingdom is very busy, and the Emporium is, like, the biggest store in the parks. Like, World of Disney and Downtown Disney is bigger, but within the parks, the Emporium is the biggest. It is crazy busy, and it's also open an hour after park close, so you're there a lot. You get to love it a lot, especially at 4 in the morning.
And 4 in the morning is when I would leave to go to work, which was also a con.
Yeah. And then, I wouldn't say my costume was a con, because I did like it, but I did get to wear a grandma skirt, like floor-length flannel kilt.
Flannel?
Plaid?
Plaid.
Same thing.
And then the pros of mine, I really liked being at a resort because you saw the same families and the same guests like over like a 7-day period. So you got to know them and you got to see them frequently. And then you also got the guests before they went out into the parks or after they got back. So they're either really super excited to go, or they're going to Chef Mickey's and they're really excited, or they're coming back from those experiences and then they're just really like want to tell everyone about the great day they had. So that was a big plus. And the people I worked with were a pro, but I don't really think that counts. And my management was the best. I love all of my leaders.
Yeah, definitely the biggest pro of my work location is I'm in stinking Magic Kingdom. I got to listen to wishes every single night. We got to dance around to celebrate the magic and the parades. Like, it was just a lot of fun, and like you're smack in the middle of it, and people would come in and it would be like their first time seeing the castle that day, and they would just come in, you'd see the first visit button, and you knew that it was like it was really special that they were there, so just being a part of that was really fun. All right, number 2. Was managing your money a hard thing to do?
So, another, like, the difference in our roles was that she would always make more money than me because she got more hours, because Magic Kingdom is open longer than my stores were. So my stores had set hours every day, they never changed, and I barely ever got overtime. So my parents helped me out a lot with the financial aspect, but I mean, never ran out of money as long as you're smart about it and Utilize that 40% off.
While you can. Yeah, definitely, it's not a hard thing to do to budget your money on the college program. Disney does pay you enough to get by, but you do have to realize, like, if things come up, like, if your family's in town and you want to take a couple days off, or if you get sick and you have to call out of work.
Me was the both of those.
I mean, I really didn't have either of those happen too frequently, so I lucked out. But just things like that you have to kind of accommodate, like, okay, well, that's another paycheck I'm not going to get a lot of money on. So things like that, because rent is a set price that is taken out every week, so you have to make sure that if you don't make enough to cover your rent, that is going to come out of your next paycheck, so you're always sort of going to be behind. But as long as you kind of are smart about it and you respect the fact that, like, you're getting the amount of hours you are, then you'll be fine.
We had a roommate who paid bills and, like, grocery shop. Megan. Hi, Megan, because I'm sure you're going to watch this.
I mean,
you did things that we could never do.
Oh, no.
You were an adult.
Good job.
Thanks for being the mom.
Alrighty, number 3.
This is the best one, because we got it while we were driving home, and it was, how long is your drive home, and is it worth it?
I think our drive home, if you look it up on MapQuest, it was like
16?
Like 19.
Okay, I lied.
Yeah, but both times we did it, we split it up into 2 days. So, like, we stopped in South Carolina on the way down, and on the way back we stopped in Richmond, Virginia. So it wasn't a bad drive.
No.
And, I mean, I'm used to driving to South Carolina for school, so, like, it didn't feel any different.
And plus when, like, Dumb and Dumber are in the same car, you just get to the point where it's been so long, and you've seen so many trees, and you're just so delusional.
Yeah, there was a point. We started screaming lyrics to Shakira songs that we learned in Spain.
But it was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it to have a car.
We had a car there so we could go other places.
And especially for me, I mean, I'm sure it benefits anybody to be able to drive to your work location, but for me, I was getting home at all hours of the morning, and, like, I was fine to drive. You get used to being awake that early, but knowing that I would have to potentially wait an hour for a bus to take me to CP housing when it was already 4 o'clock in the morning, it's not fun.
So that was worth it for her. I mean, she drove me places too, but I took the bus to work and I lived.
Alrighty, how was the internet in housing? That's enough of that.
Just brace yourselves.
Number 5.
Your favorite memory from the program, and this one was specified, like, your memory, like, at work and then in general.
I guess my favorite memory at work, I don't know, it wasn't really like a magical moment, but a lot of people enjoyed it. So me and a bunch of our cast members at the Emporium, we all knew all the words to wishes. We knew all of the sort of, like, sound effects in the parades. So we would dance around, and, like, the part where Peter Pan's having a sword fight, I remember one time we grabbed, like, the giant lollipops and we started, like, clinging them when we knew that the sounds were going to happen, and we would, like, waltz around the Emporium during the princess parts of the fireworks. Like, just things like that. People would, like, videotape us, and it was just so funny.
For me, there was this little girl, this little princess, came into one of my stores, and she had mini ears on like this with the bow, except it was the one with the veil coming out of the back, but it was, like, not the wedding one, the, like
the one with the butterfly.
Yeah, and it's got, like, pastel colors and stuff. And I was talking to her, and she was, like, trading pins, and she had an autograph book, and she was so cute. And we have an autograph book behind the cash wrap that we can use to ask little girls, or boys, or anyone, to sign for it. So I took it out and I asked her if she could sign the autograph book, because we were best friends now, because both of us love Ariel. And obviously Ariel's my best friend, and she said that Ariel was her best friend too, and I'm like, well, that makes us best friends if we both have the same best friend. So she traded this pin to me that was, like, a specific pin that I needed to wear because it was our best friend pin, and then I gave her one too because she was adopted from China. Like, her parents adopted her from China, and it had, like, Chinese letters on it. So her mom, like, made her trade for it. She didn't want it, but her mom's like, she's going to appreciate this when she's older. And then she had me sign her autograph book. And then in, like, ours, she drew a picture of us with Mickey Mouse and drew our ears and everything. And it was, like, the cutest little thing ever. And her mom cried.
What a wonderful story.
Thank you. I still have the pin. I kept it.
Alrighty.
And our guest, like, memory, like...
Too many. I guess one of my favorite just experiences in general as a guest was becoming Wilderness Explorers with Jess. I mean, I know that sounds so silly, but like that entire process was just so much fun. And yeah, it was just really funny.
I have like two that I love. On my birthday, we went to Liberty Tree Tavern, and they forgot to sing Happy Birthday, which I don't care. But the woman gave me the Liberty Tree Tavern, like, collector mug thing, so that was really nice. And then I just lost my train of thought on the other one. It was really... No, on the last day, we were going on Pirates of the Caribbean as our last ride because that was the first ride we ever went on, and then we asked them if we could go through the Fast Pass line to look at the 2 skeletons playing chess, and they let us all have Fast Passes and go on it, and we had our own boat.
I changed my guest story. So, okay. The last time we were able to see Fantasmic.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that.
We went to Hollywood Studios because we knew it was going to be the last night off that we had together, and we really just wanted to see Fantasmic for the last time because we didn't know when we were going to be able to see it between then and the end of the program. So we get there, and we got there, I guess, a little bit late because there was only one showing of Fantasmic that night. And
I think the reason we got there late is because we stopped and wanted ice cream.
Yeah, we knew we had to eat our feelings, so we got ice cream. That was rookie mistake, whatever. But
we were still, like, I'm going to say, like, 40 minutes. Like, we were there very early
It was a very, like, crowded showing of Fantasmic. So we get there, and everything is full except for seating on the very end. So we were kind of bummed. We were like, we really don't want to sit all the way on the outskirts of the amphitheater. So we go up to one of the cast members and we were like, listen, is there any way that we can sort of just see if there's anything available in the middle, like if we can just go look and see if there's like enough space, even if we just don't sit together or this and that. Like we were like, we're so sorry to be a bother. And he saw we were wearing our graduation years, and he's like, no, hold on. So he calls over one of his coordinators, and she brings us over to the direct middle, and she's just like
in the dinner package, like where you had to pay. I'm literally like dead center.
Yeah, and it was fantastic, and
we cried.
So many tears. Holy moly, we were sobbing, and then we're walking out of Fantasmic, and it starts pouring, and we're crying, and we're just like, okay, so this is basically a cheesy 90s movie.
And then we went to guest relations.
We went to guest relations to write a 4 keys card for the people at Fantasmic that helped us out that night. And the man at guest relations was like, well, what park are you guys headed to tomorrow? And we were like, well, we're going to Animal Kingdom tomorrow morning. And he's like, cool, so I just set you guys up for 3 fast passes for any attraction at any time you want to use them.
and then we cried can more. We go to a different person to give you a 4 keys card?
Yeah, that was definitely one of the best experiences.
I forgot about that.
I completely forgot about that until you mentioned the last day. And I was like, we were crying a lot. Let's talk about another time we cried. Alrighty, next question.
If we could go back in time and give ourselves any advice, what advice would we give ourselves? I thought about this because we wrote these questions down last night so we would have our notes because God knows that we're not organized. But
I guess my only advice would be not to stress as much because I was very nervous when I came down that
not to stress beforehand.
Yeah. I mean, it is scary, you're packing up your life, and you could be moving 20 minutes away, or you could be moving 20 hours away, but
I know advice that most people would give themselves is don't, because we were watching vlogs of other people last night who did the program at the same time as us, and some people packed so much. We fit all of our stuff into one car. You really do not need a lot. I get you want to bring all of the clothes with you that you can.
We're girls, we understand.
But if you think about the fact that you've got 2 days off a week, and then
Disney provides your clothing for the rest of the week.
You literally do not need a lot of clothes. You will find yourself wearing the same 4 outfits because you like them, and then
and let's be honest, you're gonna buy Disney clothes when you're down there.
And you're gonna go to the outlets and probably go to the mall. And you just don't need to bring. I mean, we didn't, though. That's not advice I would give myself. But that's just advice that I want to throw out there.
Yeah, but I honestly, my biggest advice is, don't stress out about, not making friends. Because, honestly, it's sort of like that first week of college where everyone's new. But it's better because you already have something in common. Everyone is obsessed with Disney. You wouldn't be there if you're not. So it's a lot easier to make friends.
What is your opinion on taking college courses while on the program / how do you feel about being behind in school? This is the most important thing that we wanted to talk about in this video. We can't stress enough that neither of us just decided one day that we were going to do the program and then picked up and left. We put at least, I'd say, a full, like, 2 semesters worth of time into planning this with our advisors and with our school and whatnot, and with our parents.
Yeah. Definitely, like...
You could talk about, you took classes.
Yeah, so for my school, I'm in my university's honors program, and so I'm kind of tied in that I have to take a certain amount of credits per year in order to still qualify for all my scholarships and all of the fun things that come with being academic. But anyway, so it took a lot of planning with my advisors, and they were all super helpful with getting me to the point. But I did have to remain a full-time student while I was on the program. So I was taking 15 credits while I was down there, and I was taking courses. I still had to take exams. I had to do a final project that I recorded in my car after I got back from work one night. It was literally, I think it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was sitting in my car in my costume doing my final. Fun times. It is manageable, but you do have to realize that if you're taking classes, you do kind of have to set yourself in that mindset that, like, okay, I'm going to block out time every single week to do homework. Like, you can't tell yourself, I'm going to go to the park, I'll do homework later. It's just not going to work. It's really not. But it's really important that this is an internship.
School
like, you have
is the
to
most
take your
important.
grades. Yeah.
And, like, on the flip side, I took no credits while down there because my school suggests that you don't. But we had a certain program where we all remained full-time students while we were on the program. We picked housing and classes and all that at the same time as everyone else who was back on campus. But we got no credit for being there. So I had planned accordingly and took 1 summer class the previous summer. And then I made sure that all the classes I took from freshman year to sophomore year were all of my gen eds and no electives, so I wouldn't be behind on gen eds. And then currently, like, as I sit here, I'm taking 10 credits. So I'm taking summer classes, and then when I go back in the fall, it's like I never went to Disney credit-wise.
Yeah, so neither of us are behind on school right now because we were sort of proactive and we realized...
I don't even say it was proactive. We were obsessive, and we were... like, I don't think we've shut up about the program since senior year of high school summer. That's when I truly started preparing. Even my junior year, when we had those conferences where your parents came in and talked about college, like, all I said was that I wanted to do the Disney college program.
Like, once I got accepted into college, I was like, cool, I can do the college program now. Yeah. It doesn't matter that I'm going to a school.
You have to like make sure your parents are okay with the fact that you could potentially be behind. Because if I didn't make up all these credits and if she didn't take classes while she was down there, we would both not graduate on time.
It's a very personal decision, and it's something that you have to take with a grain of salt. Because if you're okay with being behind, that's your personal preference, and you can do the program. No one's going to stop you. If you want to graduate in 4 years, if that's more important to you, it is possible as well, as long as you're a little bit more...
You just have to plan.
Yeah, you just have to plan. And you have to
be willing to do schoolwork when you don't think schoolwork should be done. Like when you're in Disney World or when you're on summer vacation.
Yeah, or when you're in Magic Kingdom getting emails from your advisor. It's kind of funny.
I had to give a shift away so I could register for classes on time. So, like, you kind of have to put school first because it is the Disney college program. Emphasis on the college.
Yeah, like, it's living, learning, and earning, but they're really... The learning
should
be...
That's
a thing.
The biggest
Just picture that one in bold.
Also, take classes while you're... Like, take the Disney classes.
That actually really helped me a lot, though, because I took 2 classes every Wednesday. We both did. But that guaranteed that we weren't going to have a shift that day because they knew that we already had 4 hours blocked out of the day for the classes, so they wouldn't schedule us on that day. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, I used Wednesdays as my day to do all of my other schoolwork, and then I was still done pretty early, so then spend the night in the park.
Okay. A good year to do the program.
We're sort of biased.
We planned to do it the spring semester of our sophomore years because during that semester you're still doing your gen eds. You're barely, if at all, in major specific classes. So we both wanted to be back on campus in classrooms with our peers in our respective majors, getting into those major specific classes, like, at the same time. Like, we didn't want to be behind on those and have to, like, at least for me, I didn't want to have to take summer classes that were major specific because I feel like I'm losing out on getting the degree from my school if I'm taking, like, now I'm taking physics and art history that has nothing to do with communications, and I'm okay with doing that as without my actual school involved.
Yeah, I wanted to be back on campus when I got into the 300 and 400 level classes, because that's when you actually have the professors that are going to be able to help you shape your career.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to have to be taking online classes because I knew that that was what I was going to be doing during my program. So that's why we both kind of decided that the second year of school would be the best. But
Ever since like high school, we said like, nope, spring semester or sophomore year, that's when it's happening.
But you are also able to do it after you graduate, and I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
So if that's a better option for you, that after you get your degree, you can always still apply because you're eligible for the semester immediately after your graduation. Next question is, what do you recommend bringing on the college program, and like things that you would typically forget?
Bring your health insurance card.
Yeah, they
I don't know if they tell you to bring that, or if your parents will tell you to bring that, but there's a really good, you will get sick.
Yeah, I have never gotten pink eye before, but I moved to Florida and I got pink eye.
I've never gotten strep throat before, and I moved to Florida and got strep throat, and I got it again last week. So.
And you live in close quarters with multiple people, and odds are you're all gonna get sick at one point, and you live very close to everyone, so sickness happens when you're in Florida.
I don't think that we forgot anything.
No,
if anything, it was just stuff that we didn't want to put in the car, so we bought it when we got down there.
Yeah, I think... Yeah.
A lot of winter clothes. Don't not bring winter clothes, though. I know you think it's, actually, no matter when you go, because you're going to be there.
Yeah, every program sort of overlaps into the winter months, so you're definitely going to need... I'm not saying bring your entire, winter armada of clothing, but bring a sweater, bring a sweatshirt, bring
a rain jacket if you have one.
Yes. Rain jacket, rain boots.
Anything to guard you from the rain. An umbrella.
Yeah.
Bring a backpack or a lunchbox if you happen to have one. Those are good for work.
Lunchbox would be the one thing I recommend. I went my entire program without a lunchbox. And every time I went to Walmart, I was like, I'm going to buy a lunchbox.
And all I would bring to work for food was frozen vegetables, and they would thaw on my way there because they just threw them in a bag.
Get a lunchbox. Because even if you put your food in your backpack, it's touching things. Just get a lunchbox.
Get a lunchbox.
Most work locations have a fridge, but you don't want to just put your food in the fridge. Just put it in the lunchbox in the fridge.
Yes.
Lunchbox.
If you go to Target to get a Tupperware, you think that's going to be my lunchbox. LOL, you're going to get home, and as soon as you take it out of the bag, your Tupperware is broken.
Yeah, that happened to all of us.
Every single one.
That happened the very first night to me. Oh boy.
Okay.
Does working in a Disney store help your chances? I would definitely say yes, but I can't speak for the company on their hiring process. It's really...
They're gonna look at your past work experience, but they didn't really ask me about mine.
Yeah, they didn't... They asked me, because I only really have... when I applied for the program, I only really had experience sort of working in childcare, and then I was also kind of a campus rep for freshman students. So I only really had experience in really people skill oriented jobs. I never really had any retail experience. So they just sort of asked me how I was with people and this and that and how I think I would do in retail. But I think if definitely you can sort of stress in your interview that you kind of know the Disney codes of conduct.
Did they teach you the 4 keys in Disney stores?
I don't know, but at least you would know sort of the company mindset.
Yeah, if they taught you anything Disney specific on how to work with guests and how to communicate with them, I would
How to fold plush. If you know how to fold plush, you're already halfway there.
So there's things that you think could be an asset that you could bring to Walt Disney World, mention it in your interview and I'm sure that it would be helpful. But I don't actually know if there's because you know when you end the program, if you get you have a rehire status, I don't know if that applies for the Disney store because we all have the same company ID, but I don't know what.
Yeah, so
we don't know.
We don't really know, but
I'm sure it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it can't hurt you. So thank you everyone who sent in questions. If you have any more, please feel free to either send them to our Tumblrs. The links are in the bottom. We'll put them there. Or just put them in the comments because we are more than happy to keep making videos because we're sad to not have a vlog or vlog-worthy content anymore.
I know. We're not interesting if we're not in Disney World.
I seriously considered making another montage because I just want to make more videos.
Look out for montage part 2.
Montage part 2. More tears. But seriously, thank you so much for watching our videos and following along on our journey, and we really, really enjoyed every moment of it. So,
At least this video won't make you cry like the last 3 did.
yeah, it might just make you cry because we're pathetic and you're laughing at us.
In which case we agree, and we would laugh too if we weren't too embarrassed of our laughs. Bye!
We're gonna go eat dinner now. Bye!
Bye!